Hello, my friends. Today's the day I thought that I would share something very interesting with you. Interesting in my world and maybe perhaps in yours. Do you see all this behind me? Let's see if I get that. There we go. All that. That is the weather we have been living with for many, many days. I think we're almost to a full week. Actually, I'm almost confident we're at a full week. Rain, clouds. We don't get to see the sun. I'm having lights on midday. This kind of weather can really pull you down, bring you down. And so I wanted kind of to illustrate a point. So the first thing I wrote about was you're not alone in experiencing what you're experiencing. You feel like it. You think you're the only one. And then if you can pull yourself out of the loneliness, you'll find that a lot of people are experiencing it. And I'm also going to pull in extreme sadness and how that might be a part of what you're feeling or experiencing right now or not. So back 3 years ago, it was like 4 years ago, my business took a dive, like a major dive. And then not only did it take a dive, I had to take some time off because I just found out I was pregnant, and it was the high-risk pregnancy. And because I didn't feel like I was the only one, and I just knew that was what I was experiencing, I started asking a lot of questions to a lot of people. And I found that in my industry, a lot of people were experiencing the same thing. We could kind of pinpoint where it started, or at least some of the major reasons why it happened. But as I got talking to more and more people, I was finding out that there was a major depression in people's personal economies 3.5 years ago. And it kind of continued for that entire year. I was so excited for the year to end and to have something new happening. But as I got talking, I kid you not, it didn't matter what industry you were in. I literally ran into 20, 30 entrepreneurs who were all experiencing the same thing, and we were all from different industries. And I thought that was really interesting. To liken that, I was working with one of my clients last month, and I said, "How was your business this month?" And she was like, "Actually, it's worse." And I said, that's super interesting, because I know people who are working just as hard as you, or harder, and their business is not going anywhere this month. Like, it's not growing. It's not going backwards, but it is definitely stagnated. And she was so grateful and said, I didn't know. I thought I was the only one. And I was like, no, it's kind of happening on a much larger scale than just you. And so that was just one moment where you can get really caught up in it's just me when it's everybody. So the reason I bring that up, and then I'm going to bring it over to extreme sadness, is there was a time in my life where my extreme sadness was completely genetically based. I was a victim of my genetics, or I played that role for a long time. And then I changed my life, drastically changed it. I was like, I cannot live this way. And I looked at ways of changing it and completely changed up everything. The natural medicine we were using, the foods we were eating. In fact, it even got me involved in personal development. And one of my favorite quotes that I remember almost on a daily basis came from Jim Rohn. He's a fantastic speaker. He has since passed away. But if you ever can get a hold of his stuff, it's great. And one of my favorite quotes is, If you are dissatisfied with your circumstance, change it. You're not a tree. And I love it. So this winter can be long in the Northern Hemisphere. It can be like this. I got tired of Eastern Washington and seeing this every spring and fall. So I moved to Utah for that, so I could see more sunshine. I changed it because I wasn't a tree. And then this winter, I had the beautiful opportunity of actually going on vacation and going places so that I could change my circumstance when it comes to just how long I was going to let winter affect me. So for me, winter has been beautiful and short this year because I took advantage of things that came along that said, hey, go to someplace sunny for a few days. Go to someplace sunny for a week. And I did, and it really, really helped. Okay, despite that, I've had a journey with sadness. I medicated it for many years. And then I stopped medicating it and changed my life. And that was huge, like literally huge. And so huge, though, that by the time I had my fourth baby, and he was my first one without any medication in my body, I was so excited. I wanted to do it again. And then time goes by, and I find out that I run on low progesterone. Or so the medical community says, based on symptoms. But I actually don't believe it. And I had another conversation with one of my clients about that and talked to her about everybody's body doesn't necessarily fit into the nice, neat box that sometimes the medical community puts out there. And so maybe my level of progesterone is actually my normal. Or maybe I'm just more sensitive, my body is more sensitive to literally hormones in our environment, and it affects me. So, indeed, I feel extreme sadness during a week of the month when my hormones dip and my progesterone is really low. And so I supplement it, and it really helps. So I've gone through several things, right? Genetics, hormones, and then this weather hit. And I was like, I am feeling it, and I am feeling it bad. So I went down the road with, okay, what do I supplement for genetics? Just in case that's it. And it hasn't been, you guys, in probably 3 years. It hasn't been genetics. Like, that's gone. And I started taking care of it in a natural way about 10 years ago. So I'm really far into this. So genetics is gone. So I'm like, okay, it's probably hormones. So I did supplements for the hormones, and I was like, this thing is not going away. And the weather is like accentuating how I feel inside. And what do you do for this? And then to add insult to injury. And this is where I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this. And I would love if someone would tell me that you identify. But it's okay if you don't, because it means you're living a pain-free life. To accent this, the pressure of the storm systems coming through affect me. I can feel them 48 hours before the actual storm system comes in. And sometimes the storm system doesn't actually drop anything, so no one knows except me that there was something that went right over our heads and kept going. So I was feeling it come in, and I was like, oh good, phew, here it is. Took some time to go to a pool and swim it out and really exercise it out, and I was feeling good, but then it kept happening and it got intense. Then the snow came with the storm system. And you guys, I was in bed for a lot of the day. because it felt like I had this huge weighted blanket just laying on me. But not only was it laying on me, I was feeling it in my joints and in my bones and in my muscles. And I was like, oh. So I was taking cannabinoids and sesquiterpenes up the wazoo. It was totally helping. But I had to be really, really on top of it. So you get that feeling on your body and your brain kind of goes, right? Goes right down. So I've gone through several levels of this. And so the whole reason I bring this up is if you have experienced or you know somebody who's ever experienced anything like this and they need someone to talk to, let's talk. I was thinking of, and it's just to know that you're not alone. So Sunday, Steve asked me, would you be open to just doing a Facebook or a Zoom call just for people who feel this way? And I was like, I thought about it. I actually thought about it for 2 days. And I was like, yeah, I really do. A free group that people can get on and they can talk about their experience and we can really share, is there something here that would be super beneficial? Is there a nugget that gets discussed that you can just glean and hold on to? So if that's something that you or someone you know is interested in, I know sometimes people don't like to comment on posts, but you're welcome to message me. And we'll just see what works for people's schedule, if there's actually a group thing or if someone just needs a listening ear. Because I've been there and I've been there in so many different situations, and just to have the weather show up and say, okay, the weather is showing up. And I kid you not, with the weather bringing on sadness, it meant that I did a lot. I mean, serious amount of meditation. And I put my phone away for a lot of it because I was like, I can't have electronics around me. I need to just be here in silence and I need to listen. What is it? What is it I need to hear? What is it that I need to know so that I know if there's steps that I can take to help it? So anyway, those are my thoughts for today. I hope it's helping someone out there because we all feel it. We all feel it. We all go through stuff and we all hide in our homes thinking we're the only ones that feel it, and we're not. So just open your hearts and be there for each other. Listen. And maybe you're not experiencing it, but you got 10 people who are, and you can just help them out. So that's what I share with you with my love, and I hope that there is sunshine where you are at. And if there's not, hold on, there will be some soon. Summer will be here soon, and we'll be like hot and sweaty. And right now it's just rainy and cold. So much love to all of you.